Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video we're going to be discussing the sort of concept or the prospect of a used S80 in today's day and age, the 2021 used car market. Now in my opinion there's very few cars that offer such value for money the way things are going. Now ever since COVID-19 and everything like that, used car prices have all got a bit silly. I mean, for a V70 now, this generation with say 80,000 miles, people are charging over £9,000, which to me just seems absolutely bizarre. We're also all in a bit of a crisis regarding how we're going to fuel our vehicles, with everybody pushing for electrification and hydrogen cars, etc. But currently the S80 poses a bit of a bargain prospect. So this car I bought in 2020, January 2020, for just £1,500. It had well, how many miles did it have? 80,000 miles, 2 owners from new, and apart from a slight bit of damage on the front of it, it was good to go. It's the twin turbo D5 model, and it also turned out to have Polestar on it as well, which has made it an even better buy, I think. It was possibly one of the luckiest finds anyone could possibly dream of. But yeah, used S80s nowadays are running under £5,000 for a lot of them. There's lots on Auto Trader that you can buy for, like I say, under £5,000, and as a prospect for a car, there really isn't much that can beat it for that price. So let's start off with the inside. Now, we all know that these cars drive absolutely fantastically. It's a big Volvo, of course it does, but the S80 in particular is just gorgeous. So these P3 Volvos, the V70s and S80s, I think one have the most timeless interiors, really. There aren't, apart from the screen that folds up out of there's nothing here that would tell you that it's years old. Perhaps we've moved away from buttons like this, etc. But as a vehicle, it is aged really, really well. I think you wouldn't know that this is 12 years old. If you think what cars were like 12 years before this car was brought out in 1997, these things didn't exist. Sat navs, you had like those pixelated awful analog gauges, you had proper gauge. Yeah, it was just, these cars are, I think, a sweet spot in sort of motoring history, really. You're not going to buy a car now that doesn't have a big screen on that controls everything. This car was designed to be used with gloves on. As a result, all of these buttons are nice and big and easy to use. I've never accidentally pressed 2 buttons. Every time I've pressed a button, it's worked, and I can't say that about modern cars from like sort of 2015 onwards. It's all got a bit silly, really. But yeah, and obviously we've got full leather and everything like this. A lot of these cars came as standard with full leather. I think there's a few really, really poverty spec cars that came with half leather, but the S80s, yeah, really, really comfortable cars. In terms of a car to do big miles in, you really can't do much better. This thing will cross continents, and you'll do it in pure comfort. I mean, the back seats are just as good. We've got, oh, it's locked. That's good, isn't it? Loads of room in the back seats, just pure comfy. These ones have had a bit of a rough time over their lifetime with the previous owners, and they're showing it. But actually, you can see the backs of them are absolutely fine. So they had, a previous owners had dogs and extras, etc. in there. But it's got everything you'd want. It's obviously got all electric windows. You've got your heated seats, Volvo with the winter pack, so you've got heated everything, heated rear screen, heated washer nozzles, the headlight cleaning kit, everything like that. Automatic rear defroster as well, which is nice, which are all features that a lot of the time you don't get on modern cars. Now, the long wheelbase is definitely something that helps this car. This car is nearly 5 meters long, and as a result, it's really smooth over bumps. Motorway cruising, it is, well, you forget that you're in a car. There's few other places where you can control as much of the environment and the serenity as you can in the S80. For example, you can cruise along at 60 miles an hour with the cabin set to the exact temperature, the seat adjusted to the exact thing, while having a massage in some models. Music, the sound system in these is fantastic. Yeah, just overall a fantastic car. And to think that you can get decent, well, you can get the 2.4Ds, which is essentially just one of these engines with the single turbo. There's very little to go wrong with these D5 engines. MPG from a 2.4D, you're going to get around 45 MPG, 55 on a run, whereas you'd get 40 with this and 50 on a run. They just really are, yeah, fantastic cars, and they can do anything. I've towed big weights with this, nearly 2 tons, and it's been absolutely fine, absolutely rock solid. And the way I justify it to myself, you're gonna have to excuse it is filthy, but that's how Volvos are meant to look. The boot is cavernous, as you can see. I've got all sorts of rubbish in here, including a pump. I need to pump the tyres up because some of those are a bit low. But yeah, as a vehicle, there's nothing you can really beat for that price. And nowadays, with these cars running you, wow, £3,000 for some of them, for just over 130,000 miles, you cannot go wrong with that. These cars are built to go far longer than that. They will do. And realistically, even if it does have a few issues, perhaps spend £1,000, £2,000, you're up to £5,000, and that is a deposit for most modern vehicles on a PCH plan. So yeah, that is why I think, anyway, the sort of modern S80, the last of the line S80, is the best value for money out there at the moment in terms of 5 Series, Audi A6, all those sort of comparisons, because that's the category that this car fits into. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Comment below. Let me know if you feel the same way. If you've got an S80 or a V70, like I said, I've discussed getting a V70 and XC70 recently on the channel, but at the moment it's just struggling to justify the price of them. There is a massive premium over S80s, so I'm not going to get the money back, or I'm not going to get the money I need to purchase a V70, because I won't get as much money for my S80, which is no disservice to the S80. It's been fantastic, and I will always make, or if I sell this car, I will always make money on how much I spent running it. So it's yeah, I've been very lucky with that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's any other Volvos that do this. I think the P2 generation V70s as well are a fantastic proposition, because again, they can be £3,000 for a D5. They'll do anything, go anywhere type thing. And even the S80s before this, I would love to have one of those and run it alongside this, if Mrs. DL allows, and obviously if we can have a garage or something, but that's all in the works. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Cheers.